Good morning, this is BayRadio International, using the word international probably quite a bit over this next 20 minutes or so, because I am back at the Lady Elizabeth School and going straight to the head of secondary, which is Tom Davidson, our friend there. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you too. Indeed, I have the absolute pleasure to be head of secondary here at the Lady Elizabeth School.
I would say welcome back, but I've come to you for a change, which is nice. And noticing you have an office, because whenever I'm at the school, which we do some work, because social media and the like, you're always out and about rushing around somewhere, but you do have a base for us.
I do have a base. Well, anyone who wants to come up and visit us, we always welcome you here at the school. But, I've always been that head teacher that wants to get out and about and be and see the kids because, when I was in school, my head teacher spent all his time saying, no, you can't. And, you can't go there and no, you can't do this. I want to be the head teacher that says, yes, you can. My job is to facilitate that learning journey for all our kids, wherever it may be. And if I'm out and about and meeting them and chatting to them and seeing the parents and the students, we pick up their passions and their desires, and that's what we want to fulfil.
So it's not just telling them to pick that crisp packet up off the floor there. So we're at Lady Elizabeth School. People know a little bit about it, I'm sure. But what sets the secondary education apart from any other options people may have on the Costa Blanca?
I think what sets us apart is our breadth of choice. The scale of the school, and we are a big school, we're a big community, but we keep that family ethos throughout all we do. But we offer over 25 different A Level choices and over 30 GCSE choices. The size and scale of the school allows us to facilitate those choices. It's about being able to track that learning journey for all our students, wherever they want to go. And, we're really proud of the support that we give everyone in that development, in that journey, in that vision that they've got for where they want to get to in their next steps.
I mean, there's a lot of students at the school, obviously, and when they come to choosing GCSE and A Level subjects, how much can you get involved and help them decide?
Well, we have a really clear guidance programme. Many of our students come from a traditional British education background and are well versed in how the British GCSE and A-level programme work. But we have a number of students, as you well know, that come from all over the world, and we need to guide them through that programme. It's coming back to this idea, each kid's individual learning journey is different. We can't expect them to follow, the rigid systems that we have in traditional schools. Some students may want to study in the UK, some in Spain, some want to go on to the world of work or the world of business. We need to track that journey. So it is that individual bespoke journey with all of them.
Okay, and when we've spoken to, whether it was Chris Aiken or anyone involved with the school, the word facilities comes up for good reason. I mean, you've got a good setup here. How much does that contribute to the learning?
We do have, we're privileged. We have world-class facilities. It's not just the fantastic view we have on the Cumbre overlooking the Mediterranean, which gives that inspiration, that look out to the sea and that internationalism, but also it's the professional and bespoke classrooms we've got. We've got 4 fully equipped laboratories. We teach 4 of the main sciences here and individual sciences. So that's biology, chemistry and physics, but we also support marine science as well. And each of those laboratories are set up to facilitate the learning. They're supported also by 2 other specialist classrooms for electronics and for physics, with all the kit that you might expect. And then music, art, drama, graphic communication, photography. Students need this space. They expect those kind of support and those facilities to be able to thrive, to be able to work in that environment, which is going to help them succeed. Our 450-seat theatre, we've got that drama and dance studio, and we're blessed with a fantastic sports hall, which is set up for a multitude of sports. Not to mention our semi-Olympic swimming pool, which is there, and we have water polo and lane swims, and open to our parents and our community as well, and we're really pleased with that. But it's not just the facilities, it's those teachers that support them as well.
Okay, and just with the facilities, again for a moment, technology. How are you, you're using it in the right way? It's not making it too easy for students and there's not ways of getting around things. You know what I'm talking about, maybe AI and the like.
But, I do. Look, Technology is a challenge, as always. You know, for educationalists, we've got to make sure that we're doing the research and we're ahead of the curve. AI has been, you know, a challenge for us as a school, but we develop the policies and the protocols to ensure that our students are using it effective. It's an amazing learning tool. You know, we use ChatGPT as a revision tool really effectively in some of our lessons. You know, students will go in and they're able to ask those specific questions and get the feedback, but the teacher is always there. They're there as the facilitator, they're there as the guide. You and I know that we have so much information in the phones that we all carry around. That's got more data and more knowledge and more information than ever was thought possible. But it's how we use that information, and that's what the teacher's there for. That's what the facilitator is there, is to help them use it.
I always enjoy that term because when you and I have been at school learning mental arithmetic and being forced to learn your times table, they say, oh, you won't have a calculator when you have to do this in the future. No, you're right, we've got way more than that now.
We've got a calculator and a map and a phone and a GPS and everything that's there to be able to drive us. You know, and kids are going through this process. You know, you've got to balance it between using that tech effectively and giving them the skills. You know, people aren't going to go into businesses and suddenly be expected to produce things and remember everything. What they're going to have is that data and that information. They've got to learn how to process it. Those are the skills that we give them.
Sure. I'll let you mention the pass rate, shall I? Because I'm sure you like to shout about it. As far as the success of the school and exam results go.
Yeah, we do outstandingly well. 97% pass rate at A Level. Wow. But the rate that I'm really pleased about is our A star and A rate at A Level. You know, last year, fully a third of our students achieved that, and that's compared to a UK national average of about a quarter. And bear in mind that our students sit the exams in English. The majority of them do not have English as a mother tongue, and they are outperforming students in the UK. Yes, many UK schools have an international multi-language dynamic within their school, but not to the extent we do here on the Costa Blanca in LES. You know, 70% of our students have English not as their mother tongue, and they're competing and they're succeeding compared to UK schools. You know, what more could you want? You know, it's a great success. And coming back to our results, you know, what we're particularly proud about is some of our best in the world and best in Europe. Both Pearson, Edexcel and AQA and Cambridge provide certificates for students that not only have achieved A stars and A's, but have performed at the top of the cohort. And last year we had students that achieved best in the world. So that's best, you know, every single student that studies in the exam at A Level, this is the students that have achieved the highest mark have come from here at LES. I mean, it's astonishing. You know, and both these students, and I know we figured them and talked to you about them before, they get that passion, they get that learning, they get that sport, and they want to celebrate that learning, and they get the success.
So that pass rate, I mean, we may have touched on one or two reasons already, but what do you think has contributed to that over the years? And many factors, I'm sure.
I think for us, it's our focus on learning. You know, our core business of the school is that focus on learning and how students get better. And our students and our teachers are able to articulate. You know, you'll remember yourself, you know, when you were in school, sometimes you're in those lessons and you weren't entirely sure what you were doing. You're copying from the board. You didn't know why you were doing it, but you were just kind of told what to do. Here we encourage our students to engage, to think about, why am I studying this particular bit of information and how is it helping me get better? You know, that skills, knowledge and understanding, and they're all taught in different ways. And because we articulate that in every class, our kids know what they're doing in each class. They know whether it's a knowledge lesson, in which case they're just learning, you know, and there may be an element of rote learning there, but they're processing and they know how to approach that. If it's a skills lesson, they're practicing those skills in maths, in music, in drama, in English. Or if it's an understanding, and these are the most difficult lessons, it's those understanding lessons. They're using that knowledge, they're using the skills, and they're developing and moving towards that understanding. But because you're thinking about the way learning works all the time, and our students and teachers are able to think about that and reflect about that in each lesson, they're always aimed at that end goal, rather than it be just a kind of, I'm in school to copy things down from the board. This is active learning.
Sure. And as far as end goals go, of course, we're talking taking A-levels. Once you've done those, that's not the end of the story. Even building up to taking A-levels, you're looking ahead then and preparing them for higher education.
Absolutely.
Big part of what you do.
Indeed, and that starts earlier in the school. In year 8, for example, they're beginning the process of thinking about their GCSE options. And we've got a whole guidance programme there, which is helping those students begin to make those first choices. I know it sounds kind of quite early, you're 14, my daughter's just about to go through this, and she's thinking about the GCSEs that she wants to choose. Now, she, as a young teenage girl, she's likely to change her mind every week, let alone.
Right.
But the guidance program that we offer gives them those targets, thinks about having that balanced curriculum so they know where to go. And that moves right through the school. Year 8 for GCSE, moving towards the end of 10, year 10 where we do our work experience program, year 11 when they're beginning to do mocks and thinks about their A level, and then that whole university guidance pathway. But it's not just university guidance. We support kids into apprenticeship schemes in the UK and here in Spain.
Yeah.
We send kids to technical and vocational universities all over Europe. Yes, we should boast and be celebrating our outstanding results, but we're just as proud and just as pleased as those kids that leave us and go into the world of work, because we need to give them those skills. We're sending 30 or 40 out of the students, out of the 100, so nearly 40% within the school are thinking about going to Spanish universities. And they're not just Spanish nationals. These are kids who are coming here and wanting to stay in Spain. The vagaries of Brexit, which is a whole other topic as well here. We've got more and more students who are looking at university in Europe, not the UK. And those are British kids as well, because quite often, though they come from British families, they're domiciled and resident or nationals here in Spain. So they're part of that EU community.
Yes. And of course, people coming into the sixth form, they don't necessarily have had to come through Lady Elizabeth School. No, they can come in and join you from outside. What do you do to help them integrate and foster some sort of community spirit?
Well, what's key is we've got a really clear...
That's a difficult age for some people.
Yeah, but, quite often when you're 16 or 15, you're ready for that change and you're ready to move into a bigger environment and begin to start that process, because it's a stepping stone to university or the world of work or vocational training. It's perhaps that time to begin to have a little bit of independence. But we have 30 of our students out of the 100 in year 12 are new to the school.
Wow.
And they stay and they thrive and they think about the success. And in fact, one of our head boy this year joined the school in year 12, and his assimilation and his thriving is such that he's now achieved the role of head boy, and we're delighted by that as well. And we buddy them up. So when they arrive in the first couple of weeks, we make sure that quite often that they're partnered with a student that has the same language group as them, but also to make sure that they have that supported process right through until they're ready to fly. With 16-year-olds, sometimes that buddy that they may have been partnered with, doesn't click, but then they find another one. We make sure that we're guiding them through. They have a tutor, of course, and our tutor systems make sure that every morning that student is meeting with a tutor, and they're responsible for their guidance throughout school. Their mum or dad in school. And it's from whether you've forgotten your lunch and you need to borrow €5, or whether you haven't done your homework or you haven't turned up to a lesson, but they're that point of contact. And they're guiding and supporting that student right through the 2 years they are with us. And in fact, some of our students stay for 3 years because it's about making that learning journey individual to all of them. Some of our students will need a year in which they're going to acquire and develop their English before they're ready to begin their A-level programme. Indeed, some of our students from year 11 are looking for a resit programme as well in order to get them the qualifications that they need. Our scale allows us to support all those different journeys, not just you're here for 2 years and then you're going to a UK university, because that's not our demographic anymore.
I know I didn't stay on to sixth form, went straight to college, but it was obviously a bit mysterious because they start to have their own section and a different coloured tie even, and they sort of have their own what we call the common room at one point, and there are other things going on, events going on that kind of extracurricular.
No, absolutely.
We
call it our ILOS programme, which is our International Learning Opportunities for Students. And our sixth form particularly are encouraged to take part in this. You know, we've got the I Am Scientist programme, we've got the chess competitions. We're particularly proud of our Model United Nations programme, our MUN, ISP, which is the group owners of the school. You know, support the Model United Nations students programme, and there is an opportunity for them to contribute both virtually and, in fact, pre-pandemic, our students joined the ISP programme in Costa Rica, and we're beginning to launch that again. We have the film competition as well, which our students work together to create a short film, and then we have an awards ceremony which brings all the schools, the 81 schools in the group, and brings them together in a celebration, almost Hollywood-like. And in fact, our students, you know, wore their tuxedos and their ball gowns, and loved being part of that process. You know, these opportunities for students, it's not just the academics. Universities are looking for that broad skill base, those soft skills, the presentation skills. Businesses want it, universities want. They don't want just the person who's able to get all the data and all the information. They want to be able to present it too.
So let's talk, I mean, what we were saying, that not everyone who comes into sixth form or to even just the secondary has come through the primary, it's LES. So what would you say to anyone considering it, coming here for their secondary education? What advice?
Do you know, my advice is to come. You know, we talk to all our new parents when we've got new enrolments. We meet with them in week 3, and we always say, what advice would you give to new parents? And they always tell us, ask the questions, come to the school. You know, we've always prided ourselves on being a really responsive school. I spend more of my time meeting parents and students, particularly new ones, in order to guide them through the process. But come and visit, set a meeting up with Isabel in our admissions team, and she will set the taster day. You know, we're also proud that students that come here for taster days, it's a 95% conversion rate.
Really?
Once they come, they love it, you know, and they get that environment and they understand what the school is about. And we make sure on those taster days, and in fact, we've got 3 students here today on taster days, and they've, you know, we meet them at the end of the day and we hear what they've enjoyed, we hear what questions they have. But come and visit, come and look, and we'll guide you through the programme.